Hello everybody, welcome to JAIIB CAIIB English Medium channel. I hope that all of you are doing fine and the studies for which we are all lined up, you are also doing the same. The study is very important. Study of what? The important topics, the important chapters, as well as the important formulas when we talk about some subjects for JIIB. When we are discussing the PPB subject, there mostly the students are confused whether we should cover the 55 units end to end or not. So the answer is you can cover if you have the time. If you do not have the time right now, then you must focus on the most important topics first and then switch to the lesser important topics. So in today's class of Hero to Superhero series, we will be talking about one of the most important chapter, that is your check collection system, and under that the CTS we will be learning the important aspects from that particular topic. Plus we will be doing and attempting certain questions also, so that we have a comprehensive coverage of the same topic. So let's get started, but before that, if you have any kind of doubt, you can ask me in the comment section. Fine, the chat box is open for everyone. The live chat is on, so if you have any kind of doubt, feel free to ask me in the chat section. Okay, so let's start our discussion with the check truncation system. So CTS, when we talk about this system, being bankers, we know everything in and out about the CTS, yes or no? Because in banking industry today in our country, we see only one system running around in various branches for clearing the check. Earlier what used to happen, the physical movement of the checks used to happen from one branch to another branch, which was very time consuming and tiring also. But RBI introduced this particular system so that the convenience is there not only for the customers but also for the bankers. And right now when we talk about in August 2025, RBI issued the guidelines that from October we will run a pilot project which is targeted towards clearing the check. We are slowly and gradually moving towards the continuous clearing process from today's CTS. Fine. So in October what will happen? RBI wants that the clearing time of a check gets reduced to minimum of 3 hours. Fine, that is the time limit which the RBI is targeting. And gradually in January 2026, RBI wants that this check clearing system should be established in line with the RTGS. The continuous clearing must happen, and sometimes you can also decipher that moving further from January 2026, RBI wants that the real time clearing should also happen. It might be the case because we have started with the physical movement of the checks, then we have now the CTS, and now the RBI wants a continuous clearing. Who knows that in 2026 and or for that matter in the beginning of 2027 you see the real time clearing of the checks as well. But for our examination, what is important is CTS. And why it is more important for this particular attempt? Because RBI has issued guidelines regarding the same. Whether we have to read those guidelines or not, answer is no, because those guidelines were issued in August 2025, and for our exam in November 2025 we only have to learn, understand and retain the updates till June 2025. So when I talk about the check truncation system, who introduced this system in our country? It was introduced by the regulator, that is RBI. So RBI introduced the check truncation system for interbank clearance of check without the physical movement. When we talk about the payment, so the checks are paid based on their electronic images. So electronic images also, there are certain guidelines issued by the RBI that gray scale must be maintained, somewhere it is written black and white scale must be maintained. That also we will be learning today. So with the suitable amendments to the Negotiable Instrument Act, that is NI Act 1881, the IT Act 2000 and the Bankers Book Evidence Act 1891, these three major, you can say, acts were amended while introducing the CTS. The legal framework for check truncation and e-checks was put place in 2002. So it is not a very new version of check clearance. But yes, when we talk about the physical movement, it is much far, I would say, not much, far better than that. The CTS was introduced with effect from 1st February 2008 and is now fully operational. Fine. So the idea was there in 2002, but later on implementation happened at the ground level. It happened in 2008. Next, what are the characteristics of CTS? See, characteristics very simple. Everybody knows that it is what? Electronic image of a paper check. So which machine is there? We will be looking into that also, which creates the images of this particular check. On only the banks involved and the clearing houses can truncate a check. What is truncate? What do we mean by truncate? Anybody in the comment section, if you want to share with us, what is the exact meaning or the English meaning of the word truncate? Anyone who wants to reply? Truncate. I can give you a hint, that speed, right? So they can truncate a check. The electronic image of the check truncation substitutes the physical check. And when we talk about whether you have to verify this physical check, so most of the cases the need is not there. But in order to cross verify, certain branches, or you can say certain employees are there who verify it again. So it is up to you guys whether you want it, want to, you know, have a look again in the physical form or not. It reduces the time taken for realization, and the paper check is kept in the custody of the bank or the clearing house. As simple as that. Next, when we talk about the approach to the CTS, what is the approach? So approach, you must remember that it is based on a grid system. CTS is operated on grid basis, dividing the country into 3 grids. What kind of grids? They are regional grids, fine, not a hierarchy as such. They are divided in a particular regional manner. So like in northern region you will have one grid, western region one, then southern region one. Each have a separate clearing house. The clearing house which is located in Delhi for the northern grid, Mumbai for the western grid, and Chennai for the southern grid. The checks pertaining to all the cities or the centers in a grid are presented to the respective clearing houses through a service branch of the bank. So service branch of the particular bank will be responsible for presenting the check. Next, what else we can remember for this particular topic? It is that there are 3 types of participants under this system. One will be the member banks of the clearing house. Right? The member banks of a particular clearing house, they will be one of the participant. Then we have the sub-member banks who will participate through these members. So sub-members can also participate, but via these member banks. Then there are indirect members as well who can participate for submission of data and images through a member bank, but will maintain a separate settlement account. Their account is not to be overlapped with the member bank's account. They will be having a separate settlement account. So always remember, there will be what? Member bank, the major party. Then we have the sub members and certain indirect members as well under the CTS system. Now the banks need to, you know, have certain amount of criteria in order to clear these checks. So banks need to transmit the clearing files of, containing the scanned check images and data to the clearing houses through a clearing house interface or data exchange modules. So they will be transmitting, the banks will be transmitting the data from their own vault to the clearing house interface. The checks drawn on bank branches within the grid jurisdiction are cleared as local checks on T+1 basis. So what is the settlement cycle here? What is the time span of the settlement cycle? It is T+1. Inward clearing is generally processed in a centralized manner. So inward clearing will be there under the centralized mechanism only. Then we have the process flow, how the process flows from one entity to another. So starting off with the presenting bank, so the check has been presented here, then the presentation clearing will happen in the second step of the process flow. Then the paying bank will chip in and return the clearing. After that, you will have the settlement of the amount which is involved in the check. Then we have the clearing cycle, which will say that yes, the particular check has been cleared or settled. Security feature is also there. There should be end-to-end public key infrastructure while maintaining this process flow under the CTS. Fine. So PKI question can be asked that whether it is a security feature, clearing feature, settlement feature, or whether it is there for the paying bank only. So the answer will be what? The PKI is a security feature. Next we have certain you can say guidelines which the customers need to take care of. So the customers need to take care of the following aspects while writing the checks. CTS 2010 compliant instruments must be there. So whatever check you are having, it must be compliant with the CTS 2010 norms. And now every check has a particular mention of these compliance as well. Write clearly and legibly. Then we have write all the details, beneficiary name, date, amount in words, figures, using the same pen at one time only. So these are basic, the very basic guidelines. Amounts in words to begin close to the word rupees without too much space and end with only also. Sign clearly and only in the space which is provided, not to make any alterations. Fine. Even if you are mistakenly you have written like this, the date 1925 instead of 2025, you cannot just cross it and say that okay, it was 2025. No, not to write in or no writing overflows in the bottom band. Fine. So bottom band where the micer code is there, you should not write anything there as well. So all these things you must be aware of being a customer. Then we have the check images. What specifically should be ensured for these check images? So always remember, this particular process is very important. Fine. The process flow is also important, but the question will be asked from here in the examination. Okay, so there are no doubts right now. Fine. If you have any kind of doubt, feel free to ask me. Okay, time and again I'll be asking you to ask some doubts, because see, if you are spending 20 minutes 25 minutes on a particular session, after that session is over, you must be well versed with the concepts. Fine. So what is the most relevant point when it comes to the check images, fine, which you have taken under the CTS system? So CTS in India uses a combination of grayscale and black and white images. So grayscale is also there and black and white images will also be there. 3 images need to be taken of each check. So one check is there, its 3 images will be taken. One will be the front grayscale. Fine. So the front will be what? Front will be grayscale, in grayscale. Then front black and white also. So front black and white as well. Then the back with black and white only. So back with black and white only. So always remember, 3 images of a check will be taken under the CTS system. 2 for the front side, 1 for the back side. In the front side only, in the back side only the black and white images will be there. For the front side, both grayscale as well as black and white images will be there. So images of the checks are taken using a specific scanner, which we'll be looking into the next slide. There is a rigorous quality check process with image quality assessment IQA at different levels. So you have the quality check process also, and it has been made compliant with the you can say checks, the quality of checks as well, so that we will be able to understand that whether a particular check has been forged or not. But most of the cases, the scenario is not repeated time and again by the customers. When I talk about the image which will be scanned by a particular scanner, so here is the scanner. Okay, this this is the scanner which will be scanning your images and providing you, scanning your checks and providing you with the images. So these are the checks, fine, which have been compiled by your branch in a particular day. So you will be inserting the checks either one by one or put them in a bundle also if the scanner is functioning correctly. So mostly what happens in the branches, what I have seen personally, that these checks you are not able to provide them in a single time. One by one you have to scan them, otherwise some machinery fault will happen in this scanner, and again you will left with no choice but to scan your checks in some another branch. Okay. So these checks will be inserted here and they will rotate, move inside the particular machine and come out like this. Okay, this is what one scan done. Okay, one scan, and this scan will have what? It will have 3 images, fine, 2 for the front side and 1 from the back side. Okay, back side black and white, front side both black and white as well as grayscale. Next, what we have with us is the positive pay system. See, positive pay system, the PPS is also important one when we talk about the check truncation system only, but it is a fresh concept, fine, as compared to the previous one. It is a fresh concept. When I talk about the genesis of this concept, it started off from January 1st, 2021, and obviously RBI has introduced this. The issuer of the checks submits electronically via SMS, mobile app, internet banking, ATM, certain minimum details of the check. Fine, not all the details. That is what is the most important meaning or the differentiating factor under this PPS. So minimum details of the check like date, name of beneficiary or the amount to the drawee bank, details of which are cross-checked with the presented check. Now banks have to make such facility available to all the accounts holder issuing checks for amount of rupees 50,000 and above. So directly you will be submitting, the issuer of the check will submit electronically, fine, via SMS or mobile app or via ATM also, certain details about a check which has been presented, and the amount, if amount of the check is 50,000 or above, it will be automatically, the facility of PPS will automatically be provided by the banks to the customers. The payment of checks, drafts, pay orders or banker check, when we talk about this term, so the RBI has reduced the validity of these instruments to now 3 months only. Fine. Earlier it was more than 3 months, but now it has been limited to 3 months only with effect from April 1, 2012 in exercise of power under the Section 35A of our Banking Regulation Act 1949. Then when I talk about the lost check, so the checks or instruments lost in transit, clearing process at the paying branch, then what will happen? The bank will inform the account holder onus of such loss lies with the collecting banker only. Fine. So customer is not at fault, the liability lies on the collecting banker. Fine. Next we have the cash and its custody. Whenever we talk about the cash and its custody, there are various norms for the strong room also. Then we have the register, whether you have to maintain it or not. When I talk about who will be the supervising officer, whether only a clerical staff will be involved or some official will, or the officer cadre person will also be there. All these things are covered under the cash and its custody. But what we have to do right now is solve the question based on whatever we have studied. So the first question in front of you: for the legal framework for check truncation, amendments were made in which of the following acts? So we have seen that various acts were there which have been amended so that RBI can introduce the CTS system. So what all acts were amended, that you have to tell me. For the legal framework, whether NI Act was amended, the Negotiable Instrument Act, IT Act, or for that matter the banker book evidence, Indian Contract Act was amended or not, fine. So the correct answer to this will be option B, 1, 2 and 4 only. Indian Contract Act was not amended at all. There is no meaning, no correlation between the CTS and the Contract Act. If there was some loan account involved, then we can say that yes, some amendment could have happened under the Indian Contract Act, but here we are just following the check system. Next, which of the following is correct in respect to the CTS? So there are 4 options in front of you. You have to tell me which of the following statements are correct. So the CTS is operated on grid basis or not? 3 grids, we have seen that. Banks that are not a member of clearing house can participate through sub-membership or indirect membership route. So there were 3 types of memberships, we have seen that also. Each grid provides processing and clearing services to all the banks under its respective jurisdiction. So do you think that every grid will be providing the services for processing and clearing? That is an inference, fine. Whatever we have studied, this is an inference, whether it is correct or not. You have to tell me this. Banks need to transmit the clearing files to the clearing house interface or data exchange modules, the DEM, which we have studied. Checks drawn on the bank branch within the jurisdiction of grid system, they are cleared as local checks on T+2 basis. Whether the settlement cycle was T+1 or T+2, quickly tell me that in the comment section also. So what will be the right answer here? Everyone. What will be the correct answer? So the right answer for this question will be option D, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So always remember the settlement happens, the cycle is T+1. Rest the 4 statements are correct, because the inference one which I was telling you, that each grid provides processing and clearing services to all the banks under its respective jurisdiction. That is the only reason why we have 3 separate grids. Okay, so this was it for today's session. I hope that you have learned something new. You will be able to solve the questions based on CTS now with full confidence, because question is expected. Let's just face the reality, question is expected from this particular topic. So if you have any kind of doubt, feel free to ask me in the comment section. And to learn more about the courses which we are offering for our students for the JAIIB November 2025 exam cycle, you can contact us on one number, which will be the number where you can directly contact us is this 0981 981 9247. So all your queries will be addressed if you call on this number, because ultimately your doubts have to be resolved. Only then the clarity will be there, and with single mindset of clearing this exam, you will start your preparation if you have not started yet. Okay, so let's meet in the next session. Till then, goodbye everybody, take care.